The internet. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. The streets are riddled with clickbait garbage, cynical, misleading headlines and titles around every corner. Ideologies from both the commoner to the celebrity clash on the daily. And the copyright police? Well, they treat you as guilty until proven innocent. Now this is the story all about how the internet got turned upside down by one long man in a gas mask, his two dogs, well, one of which is technically a wolf, but a wolf is still technically a dog, so fuck it, it doesn't matter. One Australian frog, one rhino milking mad lad who hasn't seen the Lord of the Rings movies, god damn it Jay, what's wrong with you, and one blessed pipe man. They all came together with the mission to make merriment, memes, rational thought, and logical critique great again. Together, they are the Every Frame a Pause podcast. They are EFAP, and this is Long Man Bad 2, Objective Boogaloo, coming to a YouTube video near you. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible when it comes to comedy. I don't have the intelligence or the charisma to pull it off. That's the best I could do. I hope someone got a laugh out of that cringe-filled introduction, but let's get serious now. Around 2 months ago, I made a video called The Last Jedi is a Masterpiece and Mahler is Wrong. Obvious clickbait. I thought with a title like that, there's no way in hell Mahler's going to miss this video. He'd leave a witty comment, we'd exchange information, I'd show up on his EFAP podcast, I'd be one step closer to world domination. But no. Somehow, Mahler-senpai didn't notice me. He saw and commented on my Mahler-senpai noticed me video, but not my Star Wars video? Madness! Just goes to show you that life is truly unpredictable. So this video is round 2 of my desperate attempt to get on the EFAP podcast. And what better way than to bootlick, brown nose, butter up, flatter, grovel, and flat out just kiss ass. Let me tell you why YouTuber Mahler and his EFAP podcast are one of the most important and historic happenings in internet history. Alright, I might be embellishing this just a tad. In case you couldn't tell already, I'm a fan. You see, what Mahler and his mates do is something I believe the internet has needed for quite some time now, a wake-up call. As many content creators and influencers over the years have really muddied the waters, blurred the lines when it comes to critique, whether it be critique of movies, video games, art in general, or even other people, conflating the concepts of subjectivity and objectivity, opinions and facts. And it appears that the masses haven't noticed. For too long, everyone, including myself, have not been held accountable for the things we say, not really think about what we put out there. How many of you actually take the time to really listen to the very specific wording and phrasing and structure of the arguments presented in reviews nowadays? How many times have we all made the unfortunate error of pawning off our feelings as the facts? I don't like this thing, therefore it's bad. I like this thing, therefore it's good. Good or bad, like or dislike, are tragically interchanged with one another or confused and misinterpreted as the same thing. It disturbs me greatly that the very concepts of objectivity and subjectivity are not taught or discussed in depth in our education system. And so we have many out there frustrated and confused when the argument is put forward to them that this thing that they like is bad. It's poorly made. It is not of a well-made quality. This also applies to the vice versa. People being frustrated and confused when you present the argument to them that this thing that they dislike that they think is bad is not actually bad. You may dislike it, but it's actually well made. It has merit to it. Keep in mind, however, these notions aren't so simply black and white. It's all dependent on an individual case-by-case basis. It's open to argumentation, it's open to debate. And that right there is what I adore about Mahler and his EFAP podcast. They actually have conversations and debates about these nuanced topics, alongside all the absurdist inside jokes and memes. Now this is just my perspective, but I personally find that too many of us nowadays don't want to justify the things we say or be held accountable for the things we say, using the "it's just my opinion, get out of jail free" card. Regrettably, this has led to a great deal of misinformation about a variety of movies, video games, stories, and other works. And this has only been amplified by the growing mentality of there is no objectivity in art, it's all subjective, it's all opinion-based. Well, if I were to throw that thinking a hypothetical bone, if that's the case, why are the words good and bad used and abused so often then? If art can't be objectively critiqued, that implies that there are no good movies and no good video games, no bad movies, no bad video games. There are only movies and video games that you like and or dislike. Nothing is good or bad. I'm gonna have to say I vehemently disagree with this mentality. If there's no good or bad art, what incentive do artists and creators have to better themselves, to improve themselves, to actually put passion and effort into their creations? You see, it is through critique, although not solely critique, that we learn to appreciate creations that have genuine talent and hardship put into them. And that is one of the many reasons I appreciate Mahler and his podcast so much, as it is through their discussions that I have learned to have newfound appreciation for the works of art that I already adore, as well as the ones that I previously scorned. I've come to admit to myself that yeah, there are movies and video games that I like that are bad, and there's movies and video games that I dislike that are actually quite good. It's sad that this comes off as an alien concept to many, but it doesn't need to be disconcerting. Just talk, have conversations with those you disagree with. That's exactly what Mahler and friends do on the EFAP podcast. They openly invite everyone they disagree with or disagrees with them to come and talk. There's no need to be adversarial over a divergence of perspective. Just talk. Let's talk. Get into the nitty-gritty, go into detail. Usually, everyone has something to gain from these interactions, unless of course you're a narcissist. Back on track, however, you see it's through Mahler and EFAP that they've inspired me to be more open and transparent and easy to contact by putting my Discord contact information in the description of all my recent videos. I don't want to be in an echo chamber, and it's easy with a YouTube channel and the community and fans you grow with a YouTube channel to create your own echo chamber. Surround yourself with yes men, and that can be, to an extent, dangerous. There is no better example than Twitter. Woo! There are some crazy fucking people on Twitter. And that leads into one of the aspects I adore the most about the EFAP podcast. All those guys, in the end, are just about having fun. They're there to have fun. It's fun to talk shit about movies and video games and ridiculous absurdist arguments people make. It's fun to speculate on nonsense. It's fun to just laugh at everyone else and yourselves. EFAP puts a smile on my face. God damn it, that sounds so dirty. Which is why it disappoints me that Mahler and his posse have so many critics that are just so malicious towards them and assume the worst of them. Yes, I'm well aware this is the internet, and I've experienced similar affairs myself, but it's nonetheless disheartening to see someone's position be misrepresented, to be presumed as being an evil person for how you critique art, or of course having a different political position. Extremists, always trying to hijack the conversation when we're all here just trying to have fun. Despite the bullshit, however, I hope Mahler, Rags, and Wolf continue to keep doing what they're doing. And I hope they continue to find future success on YouTube. I hope they continue to be a spark of influence for people to have more in-depth debate about art, to separate objectivity from subjectivity, to separate the opinions from the facts, and instead of conflating the two, exploring and embracing them individually as the important and ever so interesting social constructs developed by the human mind. Oh, well, that was a mouthful. But I'm sure Rags is more than happy with getting a mouthful! Do you get it? It's because Rags is bisexual. He likes dick. Oh wait, shit. No, that also works the other way, because you can get a mouthful of tit and a mouthful of pussy, so it's not exclusively towards dicks and gays and bisexuals. Fuck, I didn't think this through. But then again, getting a mouthful is commonly associated with oral being given to a man. But am I being sexist for gender stereotyping? Shouldn't women be associated with the getting a mouthful term? Because when you're giving a woman oral or sucking on her nipple, technically, you are in fact getting a mouthful. But for some reason, I just can't put my finger on it, sucking a dick is just more humorous. Maybe it's because of the the actual structure and shape of the penis that for some reason it's far more humorous to that being associated with getting a mouthful. But am I also doing a disservice to Rags in particular? He is bisexual, so he could have a preference for getting a mouthful from a woman instead of a man. And is this self-reflection even important? Because it could be argued that getting a mouthful is not a specifically gendered term, although it is historically mostly associated with a man. Oh, thank God, we finally surpassed the 10-minute mark. I can end the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and Mahler, let me on EFAP, damn it!